Hello, my name is Marsha Criollo. So today I'll be talking about the professional roles of a construction manager. To do this, I set up a PowerPoint in which I talked about their responsibilities, duties, and as well as their specific roles and different delivery methods. Those includes the design build project delivery, the CMA, and the CMR. In addition, I also included some information on the work environment, on the education needed, and the salary of a construction manager. To start off, we're going to talk about who is a construction manager. So a construction manager supervise and manage contractors and laborers at a construction site. They often meet with architects, specialized trade employees, and civil engineering on projects or upcoming buildings. They oversee the planning, the design, and the construction of the projects from the beginning to the end. They are hired by the property owner during the pre-construction phase. Moving on, it says here, what do they do? So this is going to be a brief description on like the general, the brief description of a general, of a construction manager. So this would be, so a construction manager will coordinate and supervise various of projects of all building types, such as public, residential, commercial, and industrial structures. And they will also take responsibility in the building of bridges and roads. So residential structures are buildings like apartments and small structure buildings. And commercials are buildings that are for commerce or trade, and those include shopping malls, banks, hotels, and resorts. And industrial structures are basically constructed for the purpose of storage. Such includes a greenhouse, plant house, and oil reforms. A construction manager also consults with the client during the design phase to help refine construction plans and control costs. They also ensure that the projects are completed on time in the budget. Moving on, we're going to talk about the roles of a construction manager and different delivery methods. Like I mentioned in the beginning, we're going to be talking about the design build project delivery, the CMA, also known as the Construction Management Agency Project Delivery, and the CMAR, also known as the Construction Management at Risk Method. So the construction manager's roles in the design build constructions. Okay, the definition of a design build delivery method is that in this method, the owner hires one entity to take responsibility for both the design and the construction process. Unlike the design by the build, in which there's two different teams in which the owner hires one group for the design and another one for the construction. So during this method, the construction manager participates in the project prior to the onset of construction, where they introduce construction expertise during the design stage. Moving on, we will be talking about the roles of the construction manager in the Construction Management Agency, the CMA. So in this method, the owner entertains a construction manager as an agent to help advise on topics such as the cost, the schedule, site supervision, site safety, construction finance administration, and the overall construction control. The construction manager is not a contractor in this method, and they're hired by the owner as the first step, in which they hope to honor the owner in the selection of the architect and other members of the design and contracting teams. A general contractor is not necessary in this method, therefore, a general contractor will not be seen, but a construction manager. The last bullet point is the last one, was be the construction manager could also administer the contracts between contractors and the client. Moving on to the third delivery method and the roles of the construction manager is that in this method, the construction manager is committed to deliver a complete project within a guaranteed maximum price, the GMP. So in this method, the construction manager perform their professional service and behaves as a concept to the owner in the design and the construction process. This method reduces the time required to complete the project. So while I was doing my readings on like the roles of professionals, I was at first confused with the roles of a construction manager and a general contractor. So when I finished reading my research, I found out that there are two different professionals and that they focus on two different phases of a project delivery. So yeah, as a construction manager, it is different from a general contractor because a construction manager is hired in the pre-construction phase, while a general contractor could be selected in the binding process. And a construction manager also works for specialty trade contractors, building construction firms, and engineering construction firms. In some situations, the construction manager may interact with lawyers and local government officials to meet required regulations on a certain construction project. To move on, the differences between the construction manager and the general contractor, we're going to talk about a point in which we will discuss about the situation that if a project is too large for a construction manager, what would a construction manager do? So in this case, a top-level construction manager will hire another construction manager to be in charge of different aspects of the project. The construction managers will oversee a specific space, such as the structural foundation, plumbing, or electrical work. To move on, we could talk about the work environment, education, and the salaries. So the work environment for a construction manager is that they could work up to 8 hours a day, and some do work more than 40 hours weekly. They have an office, but they mostly spend most of their time in the work site, supervising basically the construction process, supervising that everything's being done within the regulations, and having communications with other contractors, laborers, and other architects and engineering. So the education needed for this profession is a bachelor's degrees. Could be a bachelor's degrees in construction science, construction management, or bachelor's degrees in architect or engineering. So the salary as in May 2019 was 95,260, and the 10% and the 10% the 10% of people that won less than 95,000 was that they made about 56,000 annually, and there's a 10% range which earn more than 95, making around $164,000 annually. So there is a salary range. So the salary range could range from like 56,000 to 164,000 per year. So it all depends, I think, on the construction firm you're in and the skills you have as a construction manager to be willing to be making that amount of salary. So this will be like the end of my video in which I will be talking about in which I talked about the roles of a construction manager. Just to close off, the construction manager plans, supervises, budgets, the projects from like beginning to end. They will be basically there are professionals that can have communications with the owner. They could like help the owner pick the architect and other designing teams. There are basically different duties for the construction manager on different delivery methods, like I already mentioned to you in the previous slides. And also to understand that a general contractor is different from a construction manager because they do perform different roles and perform different responsibilities during different phases of the project. So thank you for watching this video. I enjoy learning more about a construction manager. I learned about more in deep on what they do. Like at the beginning, I just had the simple definition that they were like in charge of the construction process. But like after this research, I understood that how they were hired. I understand how they interact with other like workers, with other like teams. So this project actually helped me to understand more in deep of what a construction manager is. So thank you for watching this video.